And as the conflict grows, the need for calm and peace increases. And I think if we look at the American elections in this year, we can see that conflict is at a fever pitch. Never before in the history has there been such tremendous conflict and clash of ideologies as we have in this particular election, even to the point of some people talking about civil war.
So then let's unpack that concept a little bit more before you go on. So you referenced Hegel and this Hegelian dialectic, these two opposing opinions that, in his opinion anyways, you would have two opposing opinions, rub them up together, and get a synthesis. So can you give us a little bit more of an example of how that could work?
Well, let's have a look at the political system. In the one camp, in this election, for example, you have a very capitalistic view of how to run things, and in the other camp, you have a very socialist view of how to run things, even to the point of drifting it to almost a communist ideology opposed to a capitalist ideology. Now you have two very great extremes. And the very left grouping within the Democratic Party is pushing for almost a communist agenda. So you look at movements like Black Lives Matter, they have communist ideologies at their base, as have been reported by their speakers. So if you rub those two together, then you will develop a sort of socialism which is neither capitalism nor communism, and that would be a synthesis. Now, who would benefit by bringing the world to that point of synthesis? That is the question. Which organization in the world has a socialist agenda or a social agenda which is embodied in a halfway measure between what the Republicans and what the Democrats are standing for at the moment? That would be a typical Hegelian dialectic.
So who is Hegel?
He was a philosopher, if you like, and he was, all of these people have roots in German philosophy. Whether you're talking about Freud, or whether you're talking about any one of those people that developed the concepts of how to deal with minds, then you eventually get to Hegel, who had this philosophy of rubbing two ideologies up against each other. And then you jump right into secret societies, which have the same philosophy. If you take Freemasonry that we discussed last time, they have a concept which is called ordo ab chaos, order out of chaos. In other words, if you want to achieve a particular world order, you have to create the chaos in order to achieve that. You rub the ideologies up against each other until they become unbearable, and then you get the synthesis that you want. You can do that in the political sphere, you can do that in the economic sphere, and you can do that in the religious sphere.